Welcome to Ricky's Reviews Retro. We are going to look at some DS material. We're going to look at a game that was kind of off my radar when it was released, a little bit just the same as with Okami Den. And we're talking about Monster Tale, Mayasco's 2011 release, where you're playing as Ellie, going into another land where she discovers this monster guy called Chomp, and you are going to save this world and escape to get back to your own world. So, judging by what I just said, you probably already reference a little bit to Pokemon, since, well, if you look at it, you raise a Chomp and you level him up, and he takes on different forms, and you have this pet with you that go around and doing attacks for you. So yeah, that it's easy to do that. But there's also a little bit of Narnia, since you go into this other world, which is and you're a child, which is a little bit like Narnia and those books and the movies, of course. So already we have a couple of references, but if you look at the gameplay, then it's like this kind of platformer-ish, where you have this world map just the same as in Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Metroid. So more like Metroid than, since you can shoot, I guess, and you have these save points where you replenish lives, and it's just, if you look at Monster Tale, it's one of those games that resembles so many other games. But the most important thing with Monster Tale is that it resembles a lot of good games. I can count them like Pokemon, Mega Man, Metroid, Symphony of the Night, Castlevania, the modern Castlevania games for the DS. I mean, all of these are actually in themselves classics. Well, a lot of them are, and some of them, of course, are still being made in new games and are really, really good games. Mashing it all together, well, let's just say that Monster Tale successes in a lot of things, but it also fails in a couple of things. If you look at the presentation and the cute graphics, the way that the story is presented, it's easy, accessible, and it's fun to play, and it just suits it. So all of these aspects work together pretty well, and they have these funky, cool music styles for each of the different types of worlds. It just goes together to create one of those harmonic Nintendo DS and Nintendo experiences that I like a lot. So all in all, nothing to complain about. It's everything that you would want to. It actually inspires me to go back to these kinds of classic games like the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo era, where things were really, really simple, where everything was colorful and bright, where everything was just at place. And I do like this. I like that there are games who are making this, and usually you can find these at the DS and the PSP and the portable devices and such. So I think that those are the biggest strength of a game, and they take care of the heritage from all of these games and all of these ideas in a really good manner. The big problems that I do have is that as you unlock things during the gameplay, there are a lot of things that are not available to you, and you solve puzzles and you backtrack to get on with it. This is like tedious work and a design flaw already from the start. I know a lot of people like this, and it can be used quite decently, and if the challenges aren't repeated that much as it is in some kinds of ways, but all in all, it is not done with any kind of finesse. They just took the whole kind of concept of backtracking and put it in there, which does not work in a modern game, in my opinion. The grinding of leveling your little chompy guy to make him get the different forms and going around getting new attacks, looking at the skill tree, it's a lot fun if you're in the manager mode, but when you have to battle the same kinds of enemies over and over and over again with the types of controls that you see in like these fighting games like Castlevania and Mega Man, it just doesn't give you that fun experience. The strong points of these games is that the challenges always evolve as the game progresses, and here you feel that you're actually going around in a circle doing the same and the same after a while, which is a little bit of a letdown. I must say that the challenges and the combat and all the gameplay is really fun, but it comes to a certain degree, and we're only talking about a game that, yeah, well, you can run it through in maybe 7 hours, less if you're really drilled in it, and that's a big problem then, that you have that amount of repetition in that amount of time. So I'd say that that is a big downfall for this game, and mostly these types of game in this genre has the same kinds of problems, so they haven't really eliminated anything in that, so which is a bit sad, since, well, it's a new game and everything, and if they have design flaws, they should really try and work those out. But the boss fights are fun. The gameplay overall is really fun. I give Monster Tale a 7, where the flaws are the traditional kinds of flaws from all of these games. The strong points are also the strong points from all of these games. It's fun leveling up your monster, getting new items, visiting the shop, and completing the challenges. I wish more people would pick up Monster Tale, and I'll see you in the next Ricky's Reviews.